Hi everyone, today's painting is of my son and son-in-law's little Dachshund. Her name is Fig. She's a little redhead, as you can see, and she's rather gorgeous. This here is just the area of the workspace I was using, and then I started off by smudging in a background of olive green and ultramarine blue, and then I lightened up a portion of it with a pale yellow. Some of it was pan pastel, some is ordinary soft pastel stick, and I used a soft tool, which is a pan pastel product. The paper I used was Colour Fix in a bluishy grey shade. Then I moved on to the eyes. Eyes are always the most difficult, all the little nuances, and of course if you don't get the eyes right then nothing's going to be right. So you really need to pay attention to that area. From there I smudged in the darkest darks, which I used a combination of black and a dark purple. Hopefully the dark purple would help to bring out the reds in her fur colours. Again, I used the soft tool, makes it nice and easy. And I lightened up the area around her eyes. Went a little bit too light on this area, so I did go back in later on and toned it down. The first area I coloured in next was her ear. This one I went over about half a dozen times to try and get it right. Painting in red hair, getting all the little shadows and the musculature and highlights is quite tricky compared to painting a black dog. A black dog I found was much easier to do, but it was a nice challenge and I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. Fig took me about 7 hours all up to paint. I used a combination of about five different pastel pencils to get the colours as close to her colouring as I could get it. I laid in the darks first and then proceeded on to the highlights. All the while I'm looking at my reference photo, making sure that I've got everything in the right place. A couple of times I didn't, had to go back and rectify that. Then Fig's nose. She's got a cute little nose, and I was quite pleased with how I did that. I got the colours pretty much spot on, the highlights and the shading. It really came out really well. I was thrilled with that. Once again, you've got to get all the shadows and the highlights in exactly the right places. From there I moved on to her other ear and then the area under her neck. I didn't put quite as much detail in there as far as the fur goes. because her face is the main area I wanted to concentrate on, and then her collar to finish off that section, and then I smudged in more pan pastel around the base of her to blend her into the background a little bit. And there she is, and I just realised I forgot to put her whiskers on, so I'll go back and do that and put that photo on now.